So there's been some major restructuring, to say the least, within the Grand Order of the Draco Slayers. As far as I know it here, I've been having feelings for a while that something wasn't quite right, and unfortunately my suspicions were confirmed a couple days ago when I wanted to do some channeled writing, and I was going to use our book of planetary influence, or planetary spheres, that I've talked about, that has, I don't know, close to 30 years of channeled writings within each of the planetary spheres themselves, and it was gone, which isn't, you know, completely uncommon, because other members can use it and do channeled writings with it as well. It didn't return for a couple days, and no one seemed to know where it was. On a hunch, I also asked about the whereabouts of our Trans-Plutonian grimoire that we got from, well, we didn't get it from, we were able to secure it from someone in Indonesia that had gotten it after its previous owner met with an interesting end. And that book was also gone, and had been gone, I guess, for quite a while. I was unaware of it. What it really boils down to is, about a year ago, the Order opened up to a couple members that I didn't feel very comfortable with, and I felt that they weren't going to be as strong as I would have liked them to be, and they didn't seem to be as understanding of the situation. Like, the Illuminati didn't seem to be real to them. The reptilian entities, I don't think they understood how real this gets. And they weren't members that really came around very much. They seemed to create their own little subsection. There was about 15 people in this order, and it's set up, or was set up, I guess I should say, with through the games, or the chess pieces. I don't know how much people understand the true origins of the game chess. The Templars didn't invent it, as far as I know, but they used it to teach very metaphysical principles and games of strategy, which that's what it is. The game board itself became a deep metaphysical concept of the physical world itself, interplayed with the astral world, thus the checkered board, all things being held together. There's a big lineage about it. But I went up through the ranks of holding the pawn piece, learning what that meant, holding the piece of the rook, then the knight, then the bishop, and the only person in our order that holds the king piece is the king of the order. I actually am directly under him, so I held a piece called the Red Knight, which made me the champion of the order. And these individuals never really progressed very far, and I knew there were problems between the king and queen of our order. Story, and I'm very surprised that I'm as calm as I am about this. It probably is not going to hit me till later, but the book of the Trans-Plutonian Grimoire had been missing for quite a while. Apparently the queen of our order had been thumbing through it, and I've always wanted this book destroyed. I've always wanted it destroyed, because it just, there's so many different sigils of such awful entities. Some of them are just so fucking weird. It just, I don't know how anyone could actually want to summon them. It just, and to summon them, like, you have to do things. You just, like, No one wants to eat baby fermented mice. I mean, and that's honestly one of the ways that one of these particular entities requires to be summoned. But in Indonesia, they do that shit, so it seems to make sense. I don't know which of the ones they were summoning. They won't cop to it, because then you have to admit to what god-awful act you actually had to perform. But that's why we were having so many issues with trans-Plutonian beings. Because they were summoning them. I don't know why. And apparently they had found some sort of group of friendly reptilian entities, which I'm not completely against the possibility of friendly reptilians. I don't deal in absolutes. I just know how infinitely small a percentage of them would be. And they weren't even all that friendly. From the story that I got today, this morning, they were willing to leave us alone as long as we paid homage. Well, fuck you. That's what the old dragons of the past did. They lived in the caves. If you threw them some gold, they left you alone. And then pretty soon it wasn't just gold anymore. They wanted one of your virgins. So you threw them one of your kids. Just, the price gets higher and higher. And they got this stupid, and it's every fucking time any of this New Age Aquarius bullshit gets put in and just corrupts everything. It was just like these fucking douchebags that will occasionally send us messages and go, oh, well, why don't you learn to love the reptilians? You're so mean for destroying them, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's just a matter of full-on experience. You meet a couple of them and you realize very quickly why the order like mine used to exist. So, finding out the information that I had and speaking to the king of this order in real detail, I said I will no longer work with this group. I will no longer have any relations with these individuals. And the king of our order said that he was just too burned out to continue. So I am not about to stop my work. I am not about to end my great work. I am not about to throw 12 years away. I know who I am. I have developed from listening and telling myself the stories over and over again and developing myself into a formidable individual, both physically and energetically, spiritually. I'm not gonna throw that away. I'm a dragon slayer. That's just what I am. I love humanity. I love humanity, and I'm a champion of humanity. That's just not gonna stop. That's not gonna stop because a bunch of assholes got into our order and fucked it all up. But today I dissolved it. Me and the king dissolved the order. It's done. It's done in the way that I know it. This weekend, I'm going to go get the last inner workings of the king energies. He's going to transmit those to me. I'm going to spend probably a week with him getting the whole thing and completing. Unfortunately, this is the way it's got to end. But, you know, me in my Wiccan tradition, being a priest king, a third degree high priest, you know, it was time for me to move on anyways. And a lot of that just new agey Gaia bullshit was starting to get in there too. And in my mind, and the way that the patrons, St. George and Hercules, General George Washington, all these spirits that have been very, very influential. Waylon the Smith, I asked, is there any way to fix this? And he said no, but sometimes it's good to start. You know, he reminded me that a chain is only as strong as its weakest link. And he said that there was a big weak link, and it's time to start a new chain. So I'm not sure what that's going to look like. I'm not in control of the Facebook that we have, so I'm not sure if that's going to stay up. The person who would usually run it, I'm not too sure about her. I don't know what she's going to do with it. My friend, whom a couple of you know is Light Runner, he's going to be with me in this. So I'm not going to be completely alone. But because that we came out as a one-time secret society, I feel as though I need to let everyone know what's going on so I can continue with a level of transparency. There's too many of you that St. George says are very active now, are active, awake, and aware, and there's too much information I need to still release. I just need to rework it, because now that I am officially, I don't know if the order itself still exists, or here's really the way that I am seeing it. I have disbanded the order, and I'm taking it for myself. I'm pushing everyone else out. Me and the king this morning dissolved all the measures. In old times, you took someone's measure. We've absorbed all the other members' measures that were involved in this. He's leaving, so after I get my transmissions from him and become a king, earn that title, I will absolve him. It'll basically be me and Light Runner. And I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen. I do know that I have a wealth of Kabbalic magic and training on how to be a magician and how to be not only a warrior in the astral, but a warrior in the physical. I have the whole transmissions of the whole tradition of Samson and Solomon, something that I just don't know if anyone ever, knows about nowadays. I have all the tradition of this particular order, and I have my Wiccan tradition. I have my own family tradition. I don't mix them. I keep them pretty pure and potent in and of themselves. So I've got a lot of information, and I've got a lot of ways that we can still kick the teeth in of this, these Illuminati fucktards. And I can feel that that's actually changing. There's so many more people awake these days. We just got to get them on track on to who's the real enemy. And, anyone who comes around and tells you that they're going to protect you for money, oh, man, no good. No good. So America is about freedom. It's not about safety, all right? We need to keep ourselves free, not keep ourselves safe. Safety is supposedly in the cage with a canary, all right? America is not a bunch of fucking caged canaries. America is a bunch of soaring eagles. The sky offers freedom. The cage offers quote-unquote protection, okay? And I'm just too strong of an individual to live like that. I've made myself into a magician where I can't live the life of a dullard. I can't live the life of a weak and fearful individual. And part of my great work is to wake people up and give them the tools that they would need to become that for themselves, So I think that's what we're going to do. There's going to be some restructuring. The order as we know it has completely shifted. They didn't want me to go to Dulce. Now I'm understanding why. So it's a big hit for me, but every single patron indicates that it was in a lot of ways inevitable. So, basically it's down to me and Light Runner and whoever else wants in. So, talk to me. What do you guys need? What do you guys want? Let's reform this. Let's reform this into something that everyone can get aboard. Because I have no more oath restrictions. I'm open. All right, I'm open, and I'm open to build what we need to build to kick some ass, get people awake and aware, and just enjoying unlimited freedom. Get back to me, because right now is the building moment. So let's lay the foundation together and make something happen.